Extrava tweeted at 80:31 p.m. XRP on September 26th, so we understood why. We notified the first party due to an impending faulty pump. A moonshot is imminent as the two positive divergences are at the bottom. Hold on a second. In my mind, it's either right now or down there. Even though it's a decent amount, I wouldn't say this is a terrible pump. Witness RSN, everyone. We are merely in the air. October is almost here. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. All right, I'll tell you what I anticipate will happen very shortly. I would consider that an unpleasant pump if XRP was above 330. That pump is awful, in my opinion. We haven't even seen that yet, I believe. I believe we will soon, just before the ETF starts up, but that will be temporary. Allow me to elucidate the current situation of my predictions. Put simply, October will XRP see an increase. On 7 of the past 12 Octobers, XRP's value has dropped, on average, by 4.58%. However, bulls argue that the impending ETF approvals mean this time could be different. I couldn't agree more. Wondering why? There was likely a barren market in each of those years when XRP wasn't pumping. Very well. Allow me to inform you about the current situation. Mutual funds are going live soon. Tate, for instance, the deadlines for Canary Capital and Spot XRP ETF decisions October 23 and October 20, respectively. For 21 shares, the decision for the Core Spot Sharp Trust ETF is due on October 19th. Decisions about the Grayscale Spot XRP Trust are due on October 18th. In addition to the one for November 14th, these are all the other dates. Okay, the 25th of October. Thus, the question becomes, why will we pump? For exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and the general goal of attracting investors. I believe October is the best month to do so. Very well. You mean ever since this news broke? But they'll just toss it aside because of their actions at the Bitcoin launch was how I feel about it. Very well. This is strange given the Bank of Japan conference is at the very end of October. The introduction of all these ETFs is happening here, in my opinion. Very well. Just so you know, this is the only one that doesn't hold true before the Bank of Japan meeting. But what will actually transpire, in my opinion, they will amp it up. Therefore, I believe this kind of thing might transpire. All right. A plethora of bulldozers can be seen down here. However, have you seen any bear divs lately? Peruse your surroundings. I can confirm that. This will be visible in 4 hours from now. We are larger. Each 4 hours. That amounts to a bear div. Guys, it's still the same after 12 hours. We must ascend beyond this region spanning 2 to 90 degrees. The market would benefit greatly from that if we could pull it off. But for now, we must wait. My prediction is that bearish divergences will form and the price enough that does not occur to 260 once more. Please be patient. Return to the pinnacles of history by taking flight. When we're up here, my main concern will be that we have to essentially shatter the prior records and keep going. There will be no return to the starting point if we do not. Indeed, there will be a temporary high till QE begins. When QE begins, which is likely in March or April of 2026, the insane sprints will begin. Rest assured, it is not far away. In my opinion, that is what will take place at that time. Very well.
Yes.
Okay, let's get it fun. Sure, exchange-traded funds, ETFs seem like a huge deal. On the other hand, the data suggests that prices will rise. In my opinion, it will take place once more in October. If they dump it again to 260, you shouldn't be worried. To me, it seems like they're cranking it up again. Just so you know, those lows will be where it's made due to extra bullish divergences. All right, so we've had red neutral, red, and more red in October. It appears like there's a pattern here, guys. Last year, it was something related to the color red. Hold on a second. November was green and was green again. Did you see that? Presumably the fourth quarter will be bullish. Wouldn't you agree? The only thing that worries me about the end of the year is the ETFs. You tend to trust stories and then the news. On the other hand, they threw Bitcoin at the beginning. They let it fly away after first throwing it down. Well, that's the only concern then. We typically have really strong wins in November and December. Please examine this. Surely 800%, 300%. That happened a year ago. 200%. Understood. What is your opinion? 30%, 100%, 50%. November and December may also see strong or negative trends. October is still going to be a fantastic month, in my opinion, because there is so much positive information about guys. This is simply my opinion. Well, I guess we can get the main dish ready now. We must surpass a specific threshold, will we? As a whole, the plan is for XRP to fall again, up to 260 this time. Since it was once resistance, you should employ this area as support, change it to a form of support similar to this, and then return to the earlier Altamars. Correct? Is it possible to beat this level? This box seems like it needs to be beaten. Great, I'll get it done. You do realize that the last one's almost here, doesn't you? If that doesn't happen, we'll likely see a temporary peak before crashing back down below 2,000, correct? To be fair, at least a little less. But by then, we'll have a good idea of what's happening, won't we? When we get rejected, it's simple to see. Furthermore, a decline below the USDG-KD 5-day moving average would I thought that was over too. Another piece can be added to this. It will be the latter half of October before we examine this map. All right. The OCT is below this yellow moving average as shown on the 5-day chart. If we are, it will reach new heights never before seen. If we do nothing, I fear XRP will perish. Thus, the outcome here is fairly obvious. 1 million XRP was also purchased by Dave Portnoy on Kraken. There are a lot of whales paying attention. Is anything happening and do they know it? Guys, I still don't know where he got this after all these time. I don't understand what's up. He's flailing about like crazy if he purchased it back. I have my doubts about him since he's wriggling about like a fish. If we can't be sure about him, we're definitely sure about this guy who bought a Kraken, an insanely huge crypto whale, spent 50 million or 17.5 million XRP on the cryptocurrency. Excuse me. That is absolutely ridiculous. You guys?
Yes.
Haha, that's hilarious. How foolish. I would love that. Holy cow. So whales are making purchases, aren't they? I understand. Purchased by whales. But for what reason? According to the Observer, this is due to the arrival of a pump. The primary pump is this one. Very well. Every major event this year has been predicted by an asset that is 1 month out of XRP. On the 19th, its price skyrocketed, coinciding with the dates of 10, 18, and 25 when XRP spot ETFs will be accepted. There's a leap of 29 days. Very well. He seems to be indicating that we should mark the main pump, the bottom here, or both. All right, glance over it. Shall we take the lead on this? Sure, I believe that's what we should do. If more people purchase ETFs in advance, the mood will be so upbeat, in my opinion. What exchange traded funds, ETFs, are they planning to sell? Extra P will be sold at the lowest possible price, and it will sell like hotcakes, making things even better. After expressing my thoughts, I will conclude this. This chart, though, is pretty neat, dudes. According to him, it can reach a size of 420 pounds. October could also be the perfect time for that. That is, they have the option to run the ETFs in the front, and customers will only see one gas type when they fill up. In my opinion, it won't work with all coins. I believe it will be you on your own if they do that. That would be it, in my opinion, if XRP reached 420. I would still call that a coupling pump if it reached last fall's levels. If it reaches around 330, I think it will be connected to all other coins. It appears that XRP will pump gas according to these graphs. I'm uncertain. Just by feeling it pump correctly, I can tell it will be effective. You can expect October. Although I can't predict exact trajectory, I do believe it will reach 30 on 30 since a substantial amount of wealth is located up there. Here, we maintain the XDUSO line. Despite the additional PC, which stands for side, all of these shorts now appear. USO maintained its level. Very well. But please, once again, refrain from pairing USC. For the time being, it appears that all these shorts will be going up. Appreciate this graph. Between the surge and now, doesn't it appear like there's a consolidation? October seems like a solid month for stocks in my opinion. However, before we get hyped, there is a small unfilled CME gap that is currently at its lowest point. In my opinion, this is the most likely outcome. Excuse me, what did I say? Bitcoin is probably going to fall back to its previous level. There is a positive trend in the price movement. We will restore it to its previous unprecedented levels. All right? I believe that's when things become hard at this time. No, this is still quite easy. In my opinion, I am convinced